Let's go ahead and help out Ilia. I have marked your map. You must go to the path beyond the long stone bridge that leads to Lanayru province. Find the hidden village. You cannot forget that even now some innocent is confined there. If Ilia's recollection is correct, then we need to find that person in the hidden village. Perhaps that person holds the key to unlocking her memory, but it is a long shot. Please, don't worry about my memory. Just do something to help the one who set me free. Please, Link. No effect. I knew you once. Yes, this feels so familiar. The scent of hay. Long ago, when we were young, you and I. You were always there. You were always beside me. Link. The kids crowding the window. This gift was meant for you. It was something I wanted to give you before you left on your journey. It would have been real useful before we got the warp ability. Please, Link, take it. You got the horse call. Ilia made this just for Epona. Set it to Y, X, or R and use it while outside to play Epona's favorite song and call her to you. It's basically horse grass you can carry with you everywhere. You don't need to worry about me any longer. Whenever you return, I'll be waiting for you. Link, do you remember what I was saying about the Rod of the Heavens? Well, actually, it was about the messenger to the heavens who held the rod. The nice woman who saved me told me about it. Apparently, in this woman's village, they've guarded something for the heavenly messenger for generations, so they await him. But they can't give this item away until the messenger arrives with the rod. That's why the lady couldn't leave her village, you see. Say, Link, do you have any idea who this messenger to the heavens might be? Or even what the rod is? Yes. This is why, so she's supposed to give you that hint, but you don't have to do that. I already got the Skybook. That acquaintance of Toma's is in the cellar right now. He is very interested in the ancient statue down below the sanctuary. That Shad fellow down there a friend of yours, Link? I need to give him my thanks. Oh my, color me surprised if it isn't Link. What a coincidence meeting you in a place like this. How very odd. Say, old boy, do you remember what I told you before about the legend of the sky beings known as the Uka? Yes, well, there's something about it that's been bothering me, so I came here to snoop about. To think that you would appear here with such perfect timing. You really are a rather extraordinary fellow, aren't you? I found it at long last. Observe this statue. It's the same as the one in the manuscripts my dear father left me. There are many similar statues around Hyrule, but this one seems to be different. Here, look at the belly. There's something written there, you see? This too was in my father's notes. It is called skywriting, I believe. Awaken us with the word that breaks the seal. Yes, indeed, that is what it says. Wait a moment, isn't that Ilia a friend of yours? It's simply tragic how she lost her memory. And that Rod of the Heavens she mentioned, I'm sure it has something to do with the word that breaks the seal. Isn't there any way to restore her memory? I'm certain it would help us figure this all out. What's this? Ah, it's skywriting. Where in blazes did you get this? You don't suppose this could be the word that breaks the seal? Right, let's try it out. His shadow doesn't have the book. No reaction. So, it is not this statue. Ugh. Link, thanks ever so. You have brought me one step closer to solving this puzzle. I shall give the book back to you. Now, I shall try out this word on the other statues. I have made the rounds of these statues so many times that I have memorized their locations. I will place marks on your map so you can find them. Come find me in case you have questions. Remember, every one of those marks is near an owl statue. Now, if you'll excuse me. What he said did do something, though. Power has returned to the Dominion Rod. Set it to and swing it with Y, X, or R to breathe life into statues. Aim with motion controls with the left stick. When imbued with life, the statues move in the same way as their master. The writing in the book was a spell that imbued the staff with magic. Now you can do to the other statues what you did before. So, he did say he would mark your map wherever there was a statue, didn't he? Then we should go check out the spots, right, Link? With every owl statue, there are 2 things that you can get. The first is easy. You just move the statue. This is the required one. You found one sky character. A missing part of the word in the ancient skybook has been restored. But there are still other missing characters. And then, less simply, you move the owl statue to a specific spot. Why did it move back? For each of them, you will move the owl statue to a very specific spot. Some are easier than others. And then you can get something else for your trouble. I got a piece of art! Thankfully, you can't be struck by lightning in this game. There is lightning, but you can't be struck by it. Okay. No, it goes over here first. Need to get that really centered in order for this to work. I pressed the wrong button. In most cases, this will be rupees. Or a replacement for rupees. I found a sky character. And while it isn't required to repair the Elden Bridge in order to finish the game, it is necessary to repair the Elden Bridge in order to get the special item over here. Because you have to walk all the way across the bridge with the statue. I see you. It's important to note that these statues are wider. Oh, hold on. Yeah, they're wider in the middle. There's something on the other side there. But unless there's a ledge to help us cross, we can't reach it. Really? You really have to hang around. There we go. Good enough. Piece of heart! Oh, welcome. This is the Forgotten Village. 30? No, more like 20. That's how many cats have made it back here to the village. So perhaps you could, you know, just play with them? Aw, thanks so much. They're all so lonely. Perhaps you could talk to every one of them? But if you leave the village, it will be like you never talked to any of them. Do you understand? Cats are forgetful. Oh, and let me give you a tip for speaking to all of them. Start at one end. Got it? This is a little bit hard. In French, these cats actually all have their own names. And they'll say it to you, and they have their own personalities and everything. Unfortunately, in English, we get meow, what fun, meow. First one, meow. You go to the next one. Forget it. Meow, what fun, meow. Second one, meow. That's basically all you get out of these things. Unfortunately, in English, that's all you get. In French, it's a lot more fun doing this. 20th one, meow! Wow, meow! Everyone is getting along, meow! Go tell the Cucko leader. You talked to all of them, thanks! Now your prize is in front of the old lady's house. Make sure you pick it up before you leave. A piece of heart! Woohoo! It is worth it. If it was just rupees, I absolutely would not be doing this. But I already knew it was a piece of heart. Soul. There we go. Nothing else here, but we already got our reward of 2 imp posts. Let's go. Hello, I'm Dragon Rider Luke. I'm a Christian streamer, and I'm always up for a friendly chat about my faith. I also think that it's important that people read or hear the Word of God frequently, so the next 5 minutes or so will be a chapter from the Bible. 2 Samuel 14. Now Joab, the son of Zeruiah, knew that the king's heart went out to Absalom. And Joab sent to Tekoa and brought from there a wise woman and said to her, pretend to be a mourner and put on mourning garments. Do not anoint yourself with oil, but behave like a woman who has been mourning many days for the dead. Go to the king and speak thus to him. So Joab put the words in her mouth. When the woman of Tekoa came to the king, she fell on her face to the ground and paid homage and said, Save me, O king. And the king said to her, What is your trouble? She answered, Alas, I am a widow, my husband is dead. And your servant had 2 sons, and they quarreled with one another in the field. There was no one to separate them, and one struck the other and killed him. And now the whole clan has risen against your servant, and they say, Give up the man who struck his brother, that we may put him to death for the life of his brother whom he killed. And so they would destroy the heir also. Thus they would quench my coal that is left, and leave to my husband neither name nor remnant on the face of the earth. Then the king said to the woman, Go to your house, and I will give orders concerning you. And the woman of Tekoa said to the king, On me be the guilt, my lord the king, on my father's house. Let the king and his throne be guiltless. The king said, If anyone says anything to you, bring him to me, and he shall never touch you again. Then she said, Please let the king invoke the Lord your God, that the avenger of blood kill no more, and my son be not destroyed. He said, As the Lord lives, not one hair of your son shall fall to the ground. Then the woman said, Please let your servant speak a word to my lord the king. He said, Speak. And the woman said, Why then have you planned such a thing against the people of God? For in giving this decision the king convicts himself, inasmuch as the king does not bring his banished one home again. We must all die. We are like water spilled on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again. But God will not take away life, and he devises means so that the banished one will not remain an outcast. Now I have come to say this to my lord the king, because the people have made me afraid. And your servant thought, I will speak to the king. It may be that the king will perform the request of his servant, for the king will hear and deliver his servant from the hand of the man who would destroy me and my son together from the heritage of God. And your servant thought, the word of my lord the king will set me at rest, for my lord the king is like the angel of God to discern good and evil. The Lord your God be with you. Then the king answered the woman, do not hide from me anything I ask you. And the woman said, let my lord the king speak. The king said, is the hand of Joab with you in all this? The woman answered and said, as surely as you live, my lord the king, one cannot turn to the right hand or to the left from anything that my lord the king has said. It was your servant Joab who commanded me. It was he who put all these words in the mouth of your servant. In order to change the course of things, your servant Joab did this. But my lord has wisdom like the wisdom of the angel of God to know all things that are on the earth. Then the king said to Joab, behold now, I grant this. Go, bring back the young man Absalom. And Joab fell on his face to the ground and paid homage and blessed the king. And Joab said, today your servant knows that I have found favor in your sight, my lord the king, in that the king has granted the request of his servant. So Joab arose and went to Geshur and brought Absalom to Jerusalem. And the king said, let him dwell apart in his own house. He is not to come into my presence. So Absalom lived apart in his own house and did not come into the king's presence. Now in all Israel there was no one so much to be praised for his handsome appearance as Absalom. From the sole of his foot to the crown of his head there was no blemish in him. And when he cut the hair of his head, for that at the end of every year he used to cut it, when it was heavy on him he cut it, he weighed the hair of his head 200 shekels by the king's weight. There were born to Absalom three sons, and one daughter whose name was Tamar. She was a beautiful woman. So Absalom lived 2 full years in Jerusalem without coming into the king's presence. And Absalom sent for Joab to send him to the king, but Joab would not come to him. And he sent a second time, but Joab would not come. Then he said to his servants, see, Joab's field is next to mine, and he has his barley there. Go and set it on fire. So Absalom's servants set the field on fire. Then Joab arose and went to Absalom at his house and said to him, why have your servants set my field on fire? Absalom answered Joab, behold, I sent word to you, come here that I may send you to the king to ask why have I come from Geshur. It would be better for me to be there still. Now therefore let me go into the presence of the king, and if there is guilt in me, let him put me to death. Then Joab went to the king and told him, and he summoned Absalom. So he came to the king and bowed himself on his face to the ground before the king, and the king kissed Absalom. May God bless the reading of his word. That should be good enough. No, it's definitely not. So you see those hollows out of the stairs? We want to line these statues up with that because that's our best spot to jump off. First, I said statues. There's only one, but yeah. I got another sky character! And I need to move it around. And I got an orange rupee! Yay! I think you can start to see why I really wanted to get the expanded wallet soon. How do I feel about the Master Sword puzzle? Well, I got it on second try. It wasn't that bad. Alright, so we can claw shot up here. And you're like, oh yeah, we're good to go, right? Wrong. Oh, third try. That's not bad. This has taken me way more than 3 tries before. Orange Rupee! Alright, now we're done with Hyrule proper. But we're not done with, these owl statues. There's only one more, thankfully. Now, when I watched Chugga Conroy do this, I was like, you are making this way harder than it has to be, buddy. Because he was like, oh man, I gotta carefully move to get this thing positioned. Remember what I said about the lip? The lip is also our guidance here. You just bring it all the way up to the corner and you are good to go. Okay, yeah, the front of the corner. And then there's other markings on the ground here that he definitely didn't know about. Alright, the ancient skybook is filled with its missing characters. This is a crucial clue to finding their path to the sky. Set it to Y, X, or R and check it. Now, I don't know if it's just that he never had the Prima Guide or whatever, because the Prima Guide isn't the greatest, but it is good for some things. And one of them is knowing that you can just sort of stand on this and walk to the other mark and let go, and then go over to this one. And walk to the other mark. And now it's in the right spot. And that's all it takes. And then you're like, okay, now what do I do about the next one? You stand on the mark. Walk to the other one. Stand on this one. And walk to the other one. Yeah, the game developers were pretty kind on this. You don't have to put in a ton of effort to figure out how to walk this one. And I got an orange rupee! Yay! And now we are warping. Back to Kakariko.